2, 1, go. And we're back, and we are fired up. Fired up. Yes, you've seen this in the mail. You've seen it all over town. You've seen these amazing booklets. The branding on this campaign, RCCS, every year, it blows my mind at how creative it is. They come up with this theme, and then they run with the theme, and they have these sometimes bags and boxes and buses and well, you know what? We're going to take a little time through memory lane. We're going to look back and discover the genius behind all this branding. So we have here, right here, Joseph Blumenfeld from GCNY.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. And of course, we have our very own Rabbi Steinmetz. Thank you very much for being here. So we're going to talk about the different years that you came up. Did you come up with it alone?
Oh yeah, you better believe it.
So what's the process of coming up with a campaign to help bring awareness to RCCS and raise money?
So thank you so much for having me. It's really cool to be here. It's been 11 amazing years that we've been working on the RCCS auction campaigns year after year. And I have to say, we have an amazing, me personally, and GCNY have an amazing connection to this organization. From when it started many years back, we came up with this new idea of attaching a color to an organization. It was brand new, and I think even till today, nobody has it. You show anybody the color yellow, and they'll know. It's just a color of hope and warmth and compassion, and it's been like that for 11 straight years. So I think that's that's a huge accomplishment, and that's really cool. On another personal level, my wife has been the raiser of RCCS, the top raiser in Borough Park for the past few good years. Yeah, exactly. Wow. And that's really, my whole family's busy with this, and they deliver packages and call. So we're really fully all in with RCCS, and I'm very excited about this. Over the years, every single year, our team at GCNY sits down and we start brainstorming. What do we do? How do we make it better than last year? What is going to be something that the hostesses love and the community loves and the patients take chizuk from? Like, we really try to encompass a lot in this one theme every single year. And every year we're competing with ourselves because whatever we did good last year, we just want to do better the next year. And everybody expects that. So we had some really cool signature campaigns over the years. And I've been able to work with so many amazing, talented, bright people over the years at GCNY and like photographers, writers, innovators, geniuses. It's just been an amazing ride. And I'm super excited this year, fired up as well. It's working. People love it. People attach to it. It's really, really amazing. And for us at GCNY, it's the highlight project of the year because like everybody is involved and invested for a few months and really into it. So that's basically how we do it. And how we come up with the ideas, I think it's everybody together. We try to take an angle that's really relevant to what we're trying to do, but out of the box in terms of thinking. So after we had the color yellow, we had so many ideas that came with it, like the emoji year. We had full of emojis that wasn't yellow. And we kept on just doing a lot of things around hope and positivity and happiness. And I think it's really working.
So just taking a step back, okay?
Because I just want to chime in on the yellow,
yeah,
because we started using yellow in other campaigns also. And whenever there's like someone else does a campaign that's yellow, like they just did a campaign in Lakewood now for Avi Schnall running for assembly, and all his ads were yellow with red words. A few people texted me pictures like, they use RCCS's colors.
Yeah, we own
like,
it.
we own it.
By far. We own it. It's trademark. The yellow is ours.
Yellow is yours. So branding in the Heimische world was not really a thing. And I remember when these campaigns really are a trailblazer. And other organizations I saw started following. So it's really like a leader.
It's like 11 years ago, there was no charity links, there was no campaigns on that scope, and we really took it at the beginning and we conquered in a very strong way how fundraising should look like in terms of relevance, connection, bringing out emotions, communicating what we're trying to do, and it's been working. It's really amazing.
What is, for those that have no idea what we're talking about, what is branding? What is branding?
Branding positions you as who you want to be. So your company name or your organization name, and then the messaging, how you communicate with your customers. Everybody wants to be unique. Everybody wants to have their own way of communicating to their target audience, it's called, right? And whatever decision you make along the way in a business or an organization is basically, this is who I am, this is how I look, this is how I feel, and you're trying to attract people to that personality. So it's basically like a little human, just for a company or organization.
Right. So and I think the biggest challenge that you have is that this is such a serious and organization that deals with such serious things that it's tough. People don't want to think about it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If I'm scrolling down my feed, or I'm like looking at booklets, so it's like, oh, I don't want to think about this darkness, this heavy thing.
It's very interesting what you're saying.
Yeah.
In the first few years, we were a little more aggressive on the pain side because we wanted people to get emotional. But as the years progressed, we started looking into positivity and to hopefulness. And you'll see as the campaigns progressed, they became more and more relevant and happy and excited about.
Show us.
I'll tell you that what it
show us
does
the
is
years.
on the other side of marketing other campaigns, we can balance it out by being more serious and more going to the emotion. Because if you have a major campaign that's on hope, then you can
Right,
do
exactly.
other campaigns that are more serious.
balance it out.
Otherwise,
Make it right.
we'd have to balance it out in the
Yeah.
other campaigns.
Let's
as well.
take a quick look of
Yeah, let's
the
take a
past
look.
few years of how that looked and what that means and what we did for RCCS. So it started many years ago, and as you see, if you point it to the screen, we started out with this yellow color. That was the first year. The concept was together. We wanted to get people involved. Like, it's not only RCCS with Chol Yisrael, it's Klal Yisrael together is all at once working. So that was the first concept. It worked.
My first year at RCCS, and in those days I was learning in yeshiva in the mornings, and I'd head into yeshiva through the parking lot, and there's like 2,000 cars in the parking lot, and it was my job to give out like 3,000 car magnets.
We're in Lakewood.
Together,
Right.
and how am I going to get them all into the cars? So every morning on my way into yeshiva, I take a stack with me and just slap it on all the cars that were on my way in. And the next day it'd be a different group of cars and just slap.
That's so
and that's how I
cool.
get 2,000 magnets out.
Wow.
Okay, good distribution there.
Yeah, grassroots campaigning there.
So the next year we went on to the next step, and that was together because it was number 2. And again, the imagery was like cozy, but a little painful to watch.
And like
you know?
text messaging was getting, like text messaging lingo was becoming more popular, social media lingo, so the together was like
Yeah, it was very trending at that time. Then this was the strongest year that we had. Yell Ow is just like taking our color, turning it to Yell Ow. And the other side of that was Yell Out to Yell Wow. That's what RCCS does, so we were very powerful over there. This was the year of the emojis. Emotions is about what RCCS is about. It was really cool how they played out with the little guys.
I got a call one morning, the morning we put out the lawn signs all around Brooklyn, and in Lakewood was lawn signs, in Brooklyn it was on poles, and I got a call from somebody in the morning. He's like, I walked out of my house, and the whole street is smiling at me.
Yeah, it was very
Every
cute.
pole had a smiley face. He's like, it just lit up the whole place.
It's amazing how people connect to these themes. It's really amazing. The next year was There Are No Words. You saw this one? What do you think about it?
Yeah. This was.
There's nothing to say
You know
about
what
it.
I think?
Exactly.
There's
There's
nothing
nothing
to
to say about it.
Now, tell me the truth. You came up with probably 100 ideas before you got to nothing.
How do you pitch this to a client?
Yeah.
Like, what do you have this year? Nothing.
Nothing. We're gonna do
This was
nothing.
it was really cool.
Yeah. Invoice me on that.
Exactly.
Yes.
The next year was that famous RCCS double-decker bus that was everywhere. And this was like the crazy moving billboard around town. It was such a...
Whenever the themes came out, I had opinion. I did like it, didn't like it. When the bus theme came out, we were looking at it in the upstairs from RCCS and the BDB offices, and it was put up on the screen, and I said, "Oh, what? How's a theme a bus? How's a bus a theme?" I could not wrap my head around it, but I think by far that made the biggest noise we ever had.
I think that was the
It was
strongest
so-
Jewish nonprofit.
And the funny
campaign
story
ever,
that we absolutely
you know?
must say, okay, is that obviously the bus drove around to different cities and people came and wrote their, little messages to Chol Yisrael. And I'm sure they were very well-meaning youngsters. Over Shabbos, it was parked somewhere, and they went and they, let's just say, signed the entire truck from top to bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And it
I
was
remember that.
ruined. It was ruined. Sunday morning, the entire campaign based off a bus, it was over. What are we going to do? It's like black. So I called up, I forget who it was, maybe Shia Cohn, Mrs. Cohn's husband. I said, I'll go clean it. You want to come with me? I said, okay. And then Shimmy Schlisselfeld joined, Shmuley Wurzberger joined, Naftuli Sofer from Mailway joined.
Right.
And we all went on Gachkis, and we bought every type of brush, mop, soap, because we didn't know what was going to work. And we all stood there for hours in the bus yard.
Scraping the bus.
Scraping and cleaning,
wow, I
and we
remember
tried
that. It
every
was crazy.
glue gun to everything. Baruch Hashem, we discovered that the power washer worked the best after we soaped it, and we cleaned it off enough. It was
To be
still some
able to,
residue.
yeah.
It was yellow again, and we were able to continue.
Well, I think that is a great little snippet of what RCCS is about. The fact that you didn't hire a company, like everyone just like rolled up their sleeves.
And they always
went-
RCCS scrapes off
That's
the
what they
black
do.
all the time.
That's what they do.
They make everything yellow, you know?
Yes.
Then we had the mission. You remember the mission?
Oh, the mission.
What
So-
did you do for the mission?
The mission, I went with a couple different.
Falkowitz and
Fel-
Shapiro was there.
Yeah,
Shapiro.
yes. We went to this escape room, and we had a kumsitz. We
had a mission.
sugar over there.
Nobody did.
You're-
The guy had to come and tell you guys how to get out from each one.
Quick,
There was
it
such
was-
upkis going on.
it was- yeah, yeah.
It was
But we had fun. Then
It was
we
a
had
little
riddles
tricky.
and clues.
But I love how you were in your office. You come up with an idea. Oh, this will be cute. But then we are the ones.
have to work.
We have to get a bus. We gotta we have to figure out all these logistics.
We love to make you work.
Yes, yes,
They say our work works.
yes.
Then we had this was amazing. This was during COVID. It was called the drive-through, and we called it the zero contact auction. We actually had the previous campaign ready to print when COVID hit. We had to redo the entire project from scratch in literally 4 or 5 days. A new theme, new concept, new everything. Remember that time?
Yes, I do, absolutely. And it worked very well.
Right.
It moved the entire thing online.
Exactly. It was the first time we went online, right?
Is this the one where they had the yellow boxes at the groceries, or was that a different one?
Remember that one? Yeah.
Is that the yellow,
Yeah, the huge
yellow
yellow
boxes? I had a friend, okay, he called RCCS, and he's like, there's yellow boxes all over the place. He's complaining that it's just making a mess, and he was not happy with these yellow boxes everywhere. It just wasn't nice on the eyes. He was 2 years later, Nebuch, his wife, was diagnosed,
Wow.
and the first thing that hit him was the yellow boxes, and the branding worked, and he was torn apart. His whole everything was just in a big fog. It was just this yellow box right in the fog over there.
Shiny.
He said,
Yeah.
Because of that, he called RCCS.
And he called RCCS, and they held his hand and the whole family's hand along the way.
That's
so,
amazing.
Yeah,
The work works.
branding
Rolling on.
matters.
Exactly.
Rolling on. What do we got?
Then we had the
That's it.
flip side.
The flip side.
People just going upside down for this one. It was very exciting. Then we had the red flag, which was
flag.
last year.
Was this inspired by any country in particular?
What does it look like? I don't know. It's an empty red flag. Maybe Russian?
China?
China?
China.
I think so.
China.
But then we turned it into a yellow flag.
Yellow flag.
So that's victory.
Oh,
Is
okay.
it
Oh, I
victory?
see. I see.
White or yellow?
Now
The
we're up
red
to this
flag,
year's, right?
okay.
Of course. Then we had this guy. This was this year, the Fired Up campaign. I think Claudio was really fired up with this guy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing how people attached to it. And look at this last slide. I think GCNY is very privileged. Ashreinu for us to be part of this for so many years.
And look,
it's
look
just
behind
amazing.
you at all the books.
Exactly.
from all
It's
the
right
years
here.
and-
It's right there.
We just put up the fired up one. You see it right up there?
Yeah, new addition
Yeah.
to the family
there you
here.
go.
Yeah.
So it's really amazing. And
Yeah, I have to thank you on behalf of RCCS because I think that you took RCCS in general's marketing and branding to a whole new level. And the powerhouse of Chesed that we are today has got a lot to do with you.
so
you should
proud
try
and
it.
excited about this. Looking forward to many more happy years on the yellow side.
Amen to Hashem.
Remember, Yossi Blumenfeld from GCNY. GCNY.
Thank
if
you,
you are
Mendy.
looking to brand anything, your company, your organization,
Exactly.
Just
Talk
not
to the
your-
experts.
just not your-
GCNY, I'm telling you.
All righty.
The leaders.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Mendy.
And we'll be